In my last video, I looked at gaslighting. You do well to check it out. So how does someone heal from gaslighting? First, acknowledge the abuse. Acknowledging abuse can be difficult, but necessary process of healing. Going through gaslighting can make you constantly question yourself and if what you remember is correct. One might make excuses for the one who gaslighted them by using words like, but he was good to me sometimes, or he wasn't that bad all the time. This is a coping mechanism to avoid the pain of actually acknowledging that someone you loved was the same person who hurt you. Understand that abuse is abuse, and it can change you. Don't minimize abuse. Importantly, be patient with yourself, be intentional about your healing, and seek help or reach out to a trusted person or therapist for support. You will gradually come into terms with the abuse and eventually find a newfound respect for yourself and avoid any form of abuse in your life. Acknowledgement is the first step to healing. Second, allow yourself to feel. Do let yourself feel any emotion you need to feel at any particular time as an aftermath of being gaslighted. If it is anger, sadness, crying, just feel it. It helps in expression and releases the pain. It helps in the healing process. Allow yourself to feel and grieve, because if you don't, it will lead to detrimental outcomes later. Experience the emotions and understand that it's normal for you to feel those emotions, considering what you have gone through. This helps you to eventually find love and acceptance for yourself and deal with low vibrations such as shame and guilt that comes about with gaslighting. Third, have boundaries. Always. I have spoken on this countless times in my previous videos, and I can't stress on this enough. Always learn to set personal limits as to what you can or cannot take, what is acceptable or unacceptable to you as an individual. Let no one guide you or try to tell you what you can and cannot do. Only you knows what's good for you. Having boundaries does not mean you are selfish or having your own needs met first. Instead, it's a sign that you have self-love, self-respect, and self-worth. Be clear on how you'd like to be treated. Communicate your needs if necessary and state or implement the consequences if not met. When a gaslighter feels he cannot attack your boundaries, he feels powerless and might end up looking for another person he or she can control. Don't do what you wouldn't want to do or would not be comfortable doing for fear of abandonment or just to please someone. Those who respect your boundaries, you keep them close, and those who don't, you have no use for them. Fourth, learn to be happy and have fun again. Gaslighting can suck off your energy and happiness. Living an abusive relationship can leave you with inner damage, and it can take time before you start experiencing real happiness again. This will mostly be due to your inner self that was damaged, still controlling you with words like, you're worthless, you're unlovable, you're stupid, or you can't amount to anything. These can lead you to have constant fear that something will or is about to go wrong, as this is what you are used to in the relationship, and blocks you from living a full life, thus preventing you from being happy by extension. It is important to realize that these thoughts are flashbacks from the emotional scars you had from constantly being gaslighted. And as much as at that moment they are scary, always remember they are not true and that they are just thoughts. Practice mindfulness, and anytime you have the negative thoughts, counter the thought with a more positive one like, I'm safe now, or all is well. Learning to be happy again won't be that easy. There are times it will be hard, but it's a journey that takes time, and importantly, you being more intentional. Fifth, treat yourself with love and compassion. In the aftermath of gaslighting relationship, one tends to judge themselves for how events turn out, for not leaving sooner, or for not noticing the signs earlier. This makes one feel like a failure by being too hard on themselves, leading to deeper hurt, making it hard to move on. Instead, do less of self-criticism and more of self-compassion. It helps. Treat yourself with kindness. You deserve it after a journey of emotional turmoil. You are great. You are worthy. You are lovable. And you are a survivor. Love and be kind to yourself. 6th, seek professional help if you feel things are getting out of hand. Ending an abusive relationship can leave one with lots of unfinished business, unsettled issues, unanswered questions, emotional debris, and you might feel stuck in your pain and unable to move forward. If you feel you can't move on by yourself and you need more support, seek help. 7, break all forms of communication and implement the no contact rule. You may be tempted to leave room open just in case the abuser decides to reach out to you. You might receive an email or a call or a chat that might take you back, and you responding breaks the no contact rule. This is one of the basic causes of not being able to heal because you do not allow yourself to move on. 8th, work on your self-esteem. A perceived rejection from your abuser can damage your perception of self. Over time, you will feel you're worthless, and you might think to yourself that it is better to stay with someone who treats you as a lesser human than stay without one at all. If your abuser made you doubt yourself, remember that most of what comes out of their mouth are lies to keep you hooked, and just learn to redefine your own truth about yourself. Don't let anyone else define who you are. It's never too late to heal and reclaim your life. Be intentional and work towards that. Healing is possible. I'm sending you light and love in your healing journey.